No, I love Canada. I love Canadians. This is why. I love Canadians so much.
I'm the friendliest Californian you'll ever meet.
Sun is coming up, are you ready to go? We can take a ride, we can take it slow, yo.
Welcome back to the Road to Self-Love. It's your boy Paul Fishman, self-love coach and You Do You activist, here today with Janne Robinson.
Woo-hoo!
And I'm so excited. A, got her name right on the first try. And B, I got into her schedule and we're here together. Self-love is owning who you truly, truly are. And that's why I give my guests the opportunity to introduce themselves as they want to be known. So lights, camera, action, go.
I have a firm belief that we are not what we do, we are why we do it. I firmly believe that our truth is our medicine and that the world is very sick from not being honest with themselves. And so my work is to empower people to access and become available to their truths and to start living and acting and moving, hopefully in alignment with it. We don't control other people, but that's the intention. And so I am an author, a poet, a coach, speaker. I have a media and apparel brand called This Is For the Women, which is around empowering women to walk tall like an old cypress tree. Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it.
As a friend sent me a post that you did about your pricing. And because I was really struggling through that, like pricing myself and getting people to take me seriously. And I was like, this woman, she knows what's up. She's so confident, and I thought that just like messaging in itself around confidence and everything that you do would just really, really speak to my mission and my audience. I'd love for you to just dive headfirst into this whole concept of owning your why, as this is what you work through and talk about constantly. I'd love to know.
I teach a women's group called Your Wellness is Your Business, and one of the things we do is deep dive into mother and father's relationship with money, and psychologically kind of how we first interacted with the energy of money, where it comes from. A lot of the times, even in my own journey, when it's come to money not being there, it's because I'm not allowing myself to receive. As far as sticking to our worth, I think that we decide what we believe our value and our worth is, and people are going to pay what they believe their worth is or what a service is worth to them. One of the things that I've learned is the only thing that's actually ever allowed me to like stretch and actually make more money is in investing in things that were like beyond my comfort zone.
What would you say to someone who is on the cusp of like being ready to look into that, and like some actionable ways to push themselves over the end to know that they're worthy to invest in discovering that?
Why waste any second of your life living a life that is anything other than who you are? And if you're being part of who you are to make people in your life comfortable or to fit into anything, you're shorting them the opportunity of actually knowing you in this life as you are. It's ironic that it takes courage or to be brave to be who we are.
But I have a question for you. Did you always like live the life knowing that it was a waste of time to not live your why? Like there has to be an origin story here.
Oh, yes.
I think the one thing that I did do right is when I was 18, I went and traveled the world, and my mom didn't put any pressure on me to like go to university, or she was just like, go figure out who you are. And then I was doing this thing where I would travel, serve and bartend, save up a bunch of money, and then go travel the world. But my life was only authentic, and I was only free to be connecting and writing and flowing and kind of being what felt true to me when I was abroad. And so after about, I'd say probably around 23 or 24 years old, I went, this isn't sustainable, because authenticity in only half of our life isn't in alignment, and our jobs where we're giving 60 to 70% of our energy every day. And so and then I realized that I'd been writing my whole life, but I started to take myself seriously around 24. I started to be like, oh, writing. And then I actually remember the moment I was so tired from working till 3 a.m, and I just went, I'm out. So I was like, I'm gonna look into schools, journalism and creative writing in British Columbia. And I'd gone into a couple of different schools in Edmonton and sat with counselors, and I would always go like, I don't think I need this. And so I didn't really connect. Like I did try to conform and go to university, but I didn't feel that what I wanted to learn was there. And then I also reached out to Deanne Whalen, who's a incredible filmmaker. I had met her, and she had made a comment to me like, Just move to BC and like fucking sell condos in BC, you know? And so I reached out and told her I was moving to BC and that if she knew of any developers or serving jobs. And she was like, yeah, of course I do, but like, you want to be an artist, so come work with me. And then I shit a brick. I interned with her, and that's truly when I learned that part of being a successful entrepreneur is just fucking winging it and just going for it and having the courage to start. I was so sick of not choosing things that gave me joy. Yeah, I think my piece was I just couldn't keep doing it. I would come home from a trip and binge watch Netflix and just feel like shit, and it was because the life and the things that I were doing weren't enriching my soul or my spirit. The courage became just from being so sick of choosing the opposite of courage. I grew up with two moms that were like, feel, communicate, say everything. That's where it comes from.
How was that?
People ask me what it was like being raised by two gay moms. And I tell them, on Father's Day, my wallet is a little bit heavier, and on Mother's Day, it's a little bit lighter.
Great.
For the short of it, I think that humans raise humans, and we are all 34 parts masculine and feminine. Like when I started to get a bit older, it was mainly on like Father's Days where we'd be at school and be making cards, and I actually started to make Mo Father's Day cards.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I have two moms. It's Mo Father's Day. And I would just give them cards twice a year.
You're so creative.
Hey, Hallmark, don't take that. You know?
I think this is the perfect time for us to play our first road trip game. I would love if you'd be willing to write an impromptu poem together. I think that would be really fun. I think it would be really beautiful to write a poem around the concept of worthiness.
You think that worthiness lives in a room, in a house, and you search for the key, but you were shot from the womb, worthy of love. The second that you opened your eyes, opened your mouth, sucked air into your lungs, began to cry and to speak and to express, you were worthy of love.
The worthiness comes from a feeling, a place, a knowing, a sound, a heartbeat, a pitter-patter of feet, pitter-patter of feelings of love and light around you, within you. The second you came into this world, worthiness was already within you. The why behind you, the why behind our, the why behind love is all within you.
You walk around with hands that are empty, looking for people to hold you, love you, looking for somebody to swoop in on a horse and be your knight. Be your own knight. Save yourself. Tap into that love like honey, like maple syrup, like sap inside of you, and let it run and run and run until you are swimming in an ocean of love so deep and so endless and so vast that you don't know what's the sky and what's the ocean, and you don't need to look or ask or wonder or want to know why, because you already realize that you are it.
And it is the worthiness around being your own fairy tale ending, the worthiness around riding off into the sunset, knowing that you belong, you are strong, the worthiness that is within you is and with me, within us, within the universe. So believe right here and now that instead of thinking when, think of now. Worthiness is all around you, within you. And you are ready, right here and now.
I love it. Are we still going? Can we keep going? I stop.
So I'm curious, like, where do you see yourself 5, 10, 15 years from now?
To be totally honest, like, I want to write books forever. Like, I'm going to have so many books, it's going to be silly. And, like, I think that's what I'll be doing forever. I think that our whats can change. So I could wake up and want to be a painter or make pottery. Who knows?
So I'd love to wind this down with the road trip game that that I play with all of my guests.
Okay.
So we're gonna play Fuck, Marry, Kill, poetry, prose, and film.
I guess film would be a kill.
Okay.
But I feel like poetry is prose. Give me one more.
One
Give me a
more
different
thing?
one. A different
Okay,
things. Poetry
okay.
and prose are like
The same thing.
the same thing.
Okay.
Essays.
Essays.
Yes.
Great. Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Poetry and essays.
Passionate love would be essays.
Okay.
And poetry would definitely be married.
Okay. And then what does self-love mean to you?
I think it means acceptance of ourselves in a way that contains both our light and our pain body, and having patience with that process. Like, I often will feel impatient with certain wounds or limiting beliefs that will show up. It's like there's no end point with self-love. I would say that the biggest word with self-love is like true acceptance and patience with like the human process.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if people are resonating with you, where can they find you?
Nowhere, darling.
Nowhere.
I live under a rock. Instagram is like where I go. I have like a blog on my website, and I'm like, no, y'all. Like, Instagram is the blog nowadays. Then my book, which is sold on my website, which is Janne Robinson. Looks like Jane with 2 N's.
Or Janae.
Janae. Get out of the car now.
No, get out of the car. Well, I'm going to link everything in the show notes, and really, really appreciate you joining me on the road. This was so much fun.
Thank you for coming up. Yeah.
Well, we'll see you next time on the road to self-love. Bye.